Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life with Lindsay. Today we have a WIP Chat for you, but if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Lindsay. I do mainly diamond painting and some other crafting-related content from time to time, and I would love if you would like, subscribe, hit the bell, hop aboard the Hot Mess Express. Let's all be friends. If you've been here before, hi, welcome. So I am currently working on Tea Party in the Rose Garden. It is a Jolly Gem Shop kit. I will link the unboxing for this one up in the eye. If you are watching this in current time, Jolly Gem Shop has a discount going on their entire Alice collection as a sponsor for Alice in the Winter Wonderland. Thank you very much to Jolly Gem Shop for offering a discount if you guys are interested in purchasing this kit or any other kits that they have. That kit is good through next Sunday, January 12th. And I will put that down below if I remember to. If I don't remember, someone just let me know in the comment. I hope that you guys are all well. Hi. So, you guys might be wondering, I feel like this happens every year. I get ready for Alice in the Winter Wonderland, and then I launch the event, and then shit breaks loose. If you're new here, hi. So normally, all right, let me rewind a little bit. I have not seen you guys in a WIP Chat since I did the Christmas premiere. So if you guys check that out, thank you very much. If you are new because of that, thank you so much for subscribing and checking it out and doing all the fun things. If you did not know, I currently am hosting an event. This is my 5th year hosting Alice in the Winter Wonderland. It is an Alice in Wonderland themed diamond painting event. It is hosted over on Instagram, and I make additional content here on YouTube for it when I'm not falling apart. And like I said, this is my 5th year hosting it. I actually created it as a way to give me an excuse to work on more of my Alice in Wonderland kits, because I love Alice in Wonderland. So I feel like every year I get really excited and then I get hit with something, and this year was no different. So I'm just slowly coming back from the flu hit our house. Thank you so much to all the people who go to public places while they are sick. And before you say to me, like, well, how do you know that that's how it happened? Well, my husband works with the general public, and he got the flu, and literally one by one, all of the managers at his job fell within a few days of each other. So it obviously had to come from something where they interacted with sick people, and I doubt they all interacted with the same person. But it is frustrating. So here's a quick little PSA, not related to diamond painting. If you're not feeling well, please don't convince yourself it's just a cold, I'm fine, and go out. If you have to go out, please protect yourself, wear a mask, protect the people around you, wash your hands frequently, because this winter it has been no joke. And especially if you have kids in your house, you know, everything has been going around. Walking pneumonia has been insane. Neurovirus, which is a terrible stomach virus, has been insane. The flu has been insane. And I'm just tired of seeing all these people out and about who very clearly are sick. But there's something I don't understand. As a society, we decide that when our family is sick, when our kids are sick, when our whoever is sick, that it is actually more important to not miss out on the things. And I don't get it. I just put those all completely crooked. This is a total tangent, and then I'll get back to like my week and my event and stuff like this. But if you guys are new here, you probably have not heard this before. But we took our daughter to Disney for her 5th birthday. My kiddo is 7 now. FYI, worst trip of my life. But my daughter ended up getting the flu and being rushed in an ambulance to, I guess it was like pediatric urgent care. And then they took us to the hospital. I don't remember at this point. And she spiked a crazy high fever and all these things. And it's because people don't want to cancel the travel. They don't want to cancel that trip they've been planning to Disney World, Disneyland, wherever. They want to spend Christmas with their family. They want to spend Thanksgiving with their family. And what's happening is all these people are sacrificing the healthy people in their family to make those memories and have those family moments, rather than just be like, I'm so sorry, we cannot make it to Christmas this year. Little Joey has the flu. And I just don't understand, like, when we got to this point, that it was more important to follow through on plans. And I don't want to be like, oh, flake on your plans, but, like, it's so much more than, like, if you said to me, if I invited you over for a holiday and you said to me, hey, you know what, Lindsay, I'm really sorry, I'm coming down with something, I would much rather you and your entire family not come to my festivities and get everyone else sick and make yourselves feel better than to, like, have the guilt of, like, what do you mean you can't come? I bought the food. You know, like, I just don't get it. And that might just be me. But as somebody who, every time someone in this house gets sick, I immediately get sick. And usually I get very, very sick. I wasn't super thrilled with this being the way our winter went. So, because of that, I have not posted, like, any of my Alice in a Winter Wonderland stuff. I did put up an unboxing, which, that was a first look sneak peek from Diamond Artisan. I will link that up in the eye if you'd like to see that. But typically, the way things worked previously in my Alice in Winter Wonderland videos is I would do these little Easter eggs in my WIP Chats. And then the first person to find them and send them to me would be my featured account. Last year, we did a really fun thing where it was an I Spy. I fully intended on that being what we do again this year. The I Spy was a lot of fun. And then I saw Kirby, who does the diamond painting tracker Instagram, that they were doing a year-long I Spy. And then I got a little like, oh, I don't want it to feel like, you know, I'm stepping on anyone's toes, even though I did this last year. But then I realized that their event is totally different than what mine was. So if you guys enjoyed that last year, if you've been doing this for, like, more than 1 year, my event, let me know. Did you enjoy, if you even participated in it? Let me just say. Did you enjoy the I Spy, or did you enjoy the Easter egg hunt in my WIP Chat videos better? Because the I Spy is where I go live and I post an I Spy image and I give you guys clues, and then you have to solve the clue and find the answer to the clue in the I Spy, and the first person to get all of them becomes my featured account. If you are new here and you have no idea what my featured account is, I showcase you guys. So if you win to be the featured account, that means that in my next event video, whether it be a WIP Chat or a slideshow or whatever I'm doing, I feature you. It can be your YouTube channel, it can be your small shop, it can be your Instagram, it can be your best friend's small shop, it can be whatever you want it to be. I mean, obviously, it has to be appropriate, but yeah, I have been doing that since day one, because for me, it's a really big part of why I host this event. It's so much more than just, hey, let's have a diamond painting event. It's, let's build the community. And I know there are some people out there who will say things like that, and they really just mean they want to, like, grow their channel. But I've made it pretty clear. It will never be a requirement to follow me to participate in my event. Period. It doesn't make sense. Why would I want to force people to be somewhere they don't want to be? And I just really love being able to connect with people over the same, a love of the general thing. So for me, it's Alice in Wonderland, and it just has become this wonderful little event, and it grows and it grows, and I do the best that I can, and I will have the weekly slideshows or bi-weekly depending on health and well-being, you know. But yeah, I want to make it fun for everyone. So for this particular one, I think when you guys see this, it'll technically be my week 1 of Alice, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all that stuff together, and then it'll be uploaded the next day, because I don't want to upload 2 videos in a day. But anyway, that's a super long tangent for just rambling about the event. If you want to participate, you are more than welcome. All you need is an Alice or Alice-themed kit. It can be the Cheshire Cat. It can be the Mad Hatter. It can be Wonderland. It can be anything that's Alice in Wonderland themed. But it is January 1st through February 14th, so you can join in at any time. It does require a new start to participate. However, I've had people in the past not finish the kit from the year before, and then they just pop back in, and just so they can engage with other Alice lovers, and I'm never going to be like, no, you can't do that. But if you want to participate, make sure you post your starting photo on Instagram and use the hashtag Alice in a Winter Wonderland. It does have to have the in a, or it won't. Well, Instagram's changed its algorithm, so I can't find them anyway. But and then fill out the Google Doc. I will have the Google Doc listed down below. It is always in the link tree that's in my bio. And if you are in my Facebook group, I also have it posted there as well. Speaking of my Facebook group, I do not have like official entries or anything like that on my Facebook group, but I do find that sometimes it's easier for people to post their questions and things there all in one thread. I am getting a lot of people joining the group and they're not responding to the questions. Literally, there's one question that you need to answer, and it's like, do you follow the group rules? Yes or no? And I'm having a lot of people that are just not answering it. And so I have adjusted the admin assist, which is like a tool that Facebook has, and it is going to now automatically deny anybody who does not answer that. If you are that person and you get denied, that is more than likely why you've been denied from the group. You can just just fill it out again, but make sure you answer the questions. That's it. It's as simple as that. And if you invite your friend to the group, please remind them to answer the question, because I find that usually when I get the most people ignoring it is when they've been invited from somebody else. But I did want to put that out there. So I hope that you guys are all well. I feel like I just rambled a really long time to tell you guys a whole lot of nothing. This kit has so much confetti. I'm recording this when I normally would be recording this. However, my tiny human is home, so you may hear her. She has not had a full day of school since December 19th, I think. I think the 20th was a half day, and then she went right on break, and then break was scheduled to be done January 2nd, and like right before, like literally the night before school or 2 nights before school. No, I think it was the night before school. She woke up and spiked a fever, and it held out for days and days. And so my child missed the next 2 days of school that they went back. And then today, which is a school day, we don't have school because it's a snow day. So I did let her know. I said, Mommy has to record. So, you know, if you need me, I'm here, but just please refrain from like screaming over your monitor. So, but she's laying down in her bed right now. So hopefully we have no issues, knock on wood. But the kit's really pretty, but like you guys maybe you can see here, like these are all stripes. This is part of her clothing. And all of this is just There's a couple spots where it's a few lines of the same color, but it is just confetti crazy. And then you can see all of the holes here are different colors, and it's been a lot. This kit, I knew it was going to be confetti heavy, but like it didn't dawn on me like how confetti heavy it was going to be until I sat down to work on it. It does not have the size on this. It's written. Wow, you guys, wow. Words are hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even know where my notepad is right now, but it's like one of those like 50 something by 7. I think it's 50 by 75. So, but yeah, it's cold and snowy out, and so I have a candle going. I don't have a whole lot of like, hey, this is specifically what we did over break, because as I mentioned, we all got sick, and we stayed home. So the beginning part of her break, her coach said something to me about like, oh, are you wanting to do the extra morning ice? And I was like, yes. So turns out, I think every other coach took the break and like used it as a break. Our coach was there. They didn't have any afternoon ice. Usually like when there's like a holiday, there's more public ice and there's more hockey stuff and there's not as much private ice available. So for us, we were already doing morning ice. And this is the thing that like I was trying to explain to my kiddo, that if we commit to doing, morning ice on whatever day, that's our ice time. That's our ice time, whether we're in school, out of school, summer break, whatever. And I think that she kind of understands it without like fully understanding, that means that we have to be up and moving at 5 o'clock in the morning once, if not twice a week, until we no longer have this time slot. Like, so when her coach was like, yeah, I've got morning ice, are you, and I was like, yeah, we're keeping our lesson, and we're actually added in a second lesson during the break, which worked out really well. Part of me does not want to work up that high. I don't really want to work on this color that I just pulled out. Well, we're going to, I guess. But it did mean having to get up and be at the rink super early. Now, the interesting thing is that anybody who wanted to skate only had morning ice. So by the time we were leaving, it was much busier because more people are skating from 8 to 9 than 6 to 7 or 7 to 8, so it was nice having a spot and knowing that like nobody could take that time unless we said, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. Like tomorrow, for example, I'm set to have morning ice, but I'm kind of seeing how the roads are when my husband comes home from work today before I make let her coach know, hey, I can or I cannot, because the last thing I want to do is have to drive early in the morning on roads that have not been cleaned or treated or whatever. I don't like driving in the snow. I don't like driving when it's dark out. I sound like a real ball of fun. But it's true. The older I get, the less I want to do it. And plus, like, I have a child who constantly feels the need to talk, which, fine, whatever. But, like, when I'm trying to concentrate, I'm not trying to have a conversation with her. I'm just trying to focus on the road and, like, not spinning out and things like that. But it was nice. Briar got a lot of good ice time in over the break. And then we went to, I think it was her last lesson that we had. And so when COVID hit, when the pandemic happened 5 years ago, my daughter wasn't wearing glasses yet. So at this point, my husband had already tested positive for the flu. Briar and I were completely free of symptoms. And I was thinking, like, maybe we're going to go unscathed. So her and I both wore a mask because we had been exposed. And I didn't want to be like, oh, we're carrying it. We just had... I was trying to be kind. And then her coach was like, yeah, her glasses are fogging up. Are you cool if she takes off the mask? And I was like, are you cool with that? Like, I don't want to put you at risk. And so she decided to take off the mask. So hopefully her coach made it through unscathed, because I have not spoken to her in some time now. But yeah, it was like, I'm just over all of the sicknesses and all of the grossness and all of everything, you know what I mean? But so she had a lot of good ice. She's so close to her like her spin. If you guys know anything about ice skating, my daughter is working on what will become her scratch spin. It starts out as a 2-foot spin, and then you lift one leg up into like flamingo position. And then from there, that leg will actually kind of like, if you are a former figure skater, I apologize for the way I'm butchering this, but like you have your 2 legs like this, and then you lift the one leg up. I don't know if you guys can see. And then eventually it'll swing. I'll do it with this one. It'll swing out and around so that the pinkies of your toes are touching each other. And then you're upright like this and you're just spinning. And then once you have your scratch spin and your backspin, which is the same thing the other direction. But like once you have the basics of that down, then you can work on some of the other variations of spins, like a sit spin or a camel spin, or all these things. So she's very, very close to like truly having it right now, which is crazy, because like I looked at video of her from not that long ago, and I was like, wow, she's really just improving like crazy, which I obviously love seeing. You guys, for some reason, I'm just not feeling this right now. Not the WIP Chat, but like, I feel like I was working on this section with the diamonds, but then this little section right here was so little, and I was like, I'm just going to peel that up and keep going. But honestly, like, I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed with like how big the section is. And not because I don't normally work on large sections, because I do, but it is just full of confetti. So I'm going to actually put that color aside and keep going back to what I was working on here. I don't care. If it takes me longer, it takes me longer. I'm just, like yesterday, my husband, he's like, oh, I thought you were going upstairs. And I was like, I was. But I just, like, yesterday was not a good day. But yesterday, I was just feeling very, like, over it when I sat down. And I don't want to feel that way. I want to love the canvas that I'm working on, the image I'm working on. And it's really pretty. I don't love confetti, you guys. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick. So besides all the ice skating, and when I saw you guys last, I had talked about how we had nutcrackers, and Briar had her winter showcase, and all of that was done, and she did a fantastic job with everything, and I'm super, super proud of her. And so actually the other day, her coach texted a couple of the moms. I don't know who the third person is, but the second person is whose daughter trains with my daughter. They're both little kids, and she's like, hey, do you guys want to compete later this month? Deadline's 2 days. I was like, oh, okay. So, Briar is set to compete later in January. She's also competing in February. So, you know, 2 things. One, she likely already has a higher level skater that wants to compete there and has already signed up, and that's why she said to us, hey, go ahead, because the more kids that she takes with her, the more money she's going to make, right? When you have 3 kids in a competition, you're making the price of 3 kids. When you have 1 kid competing, you're making the price of 1 kid. And as far as I know, because we haven't gotten to that point, anything that's not considered local, you actually cover your coach's travel expenses. So it usually makes more sense to have more kids at those kinds of competitions, because then all the families split the cost. So I think this would technically be considered a local, I mean, it's still a local competition. It's less than an hour from where we are. But anyway, so myself and one of the other moms, we signed our kids up. And I said to her, I said, the other thing is, I think that she's now confident that that their programs are down well enough. Because over the summer, they both competed together. They competed in different levels. They competed in Basic 3 and Basic 4. My kiddo was in 3. Her kiddo was in 4. And this time around, they're going to be competing in 4 and 5. And I think she's confident enough that our kids are strong enough where they are to compete in, 3 weeks. So I'm excited. My daughter is excited. I get a little nervous about... Okay. Do you guys get nervous? This is my anxiety, but do you guys get nervous going to new places? Like, for me, it's always like, what's the parking situation going to be like? Like, if you're telling me you're inviting me somewhere and it does not have a parking lot, I'm probably not coming. Let's be honest. I am not driving around looking for parallel parking. I need something that is like straightforward and easy, and that's it. Because if I'm already expending my energy to like figure out where I'm going and what I'm doing, I want it to be that easy. It stresses me out so badly. So like, I've never been to this rink. I don't know anything about what its parking situation is like, or what any of it's like, or what the rink situation's like. And I know that that's going to be pretty common, that my kid's going to be competing at rinks that she doesn't skate at. She has skated at, locally, she has skated at 3 rinks. She's also skated at rinks like in the Philadelphia area, because we went and saw my family or things like that. But oddly enough, the rink that she skated at when we visited my parents, this was a while ago, maybe 2 years ago now. I grew up skating at that rink. So like, I already knew what it was like. I love when I put away a color and it's like, oh, you missed one right there. So let's get that. But anyway, I have so much going. My brain is all over the place. So while we were on the break, my daughter and I both had chiropractor appointments. She had a ton of ice skating. My brother-in-law from Arizona came in with his oldest son. It was a very last minute. They went to the Penn State game, like right before Christmas. And it was funny because like my brother-in-law was like, oh, I don't want to sound ungrateful, because it's not me being ungrateful. But it's really frustrating that my child is 7 years old and I still get asked, what does she want for Christmas? When we don't celebrate Christmas. Like, I know they celebrate Christmas, but we're not a Christian family. And when she was really little, everybody was like, she's going to feel so sad that she's the only one not getting presents. And I'm like, no, she's not. Because by the time she understands what's going on, her cousins are all going to be much older and they're not going to be getting toys and things to play with. Like, one of the cousins that we normally spend Christmas with, one is getting her master's, the other's a freshman in college. Like, they're not getting stuff that she's like, oh my God, that's so cool. They're getting like money, although she would like money too. They're getting money and they're getting gift certificates and things like that. And it's just really frustrating when every year I have to explain, like, we don't celebrate Christmas. You don't need to get her a Christmas gift. But anyway, my brother-in-law was like, what is she into right now? And we were talking about Squishmallows. And I don't fully get the hype behind the ones that are like $50 and the huge collectible ones. Like my daughter just like, she thinks they're really cute. And for her, she's cool with getting multiple of the same Squish. So his son that was with us he's a teacher. He works in elementary school. And so when his father had no idea what a Squishmallow was, which it's funny. I am not somebody. Okay, how do I say this? Because I feel like no matter how I say it's going to come off the wrong way or my intention is going to be the wrong way. If you ask somebody for what do they want for their birthday, okay, let's just leave it at that. And you say they want a blue sweater in this size. Then you get them a blue sweater in that size, right? But if somebody says to you specifically, I want a blue sweater from this company, then you get them the blue sweater from that company. If you can't get them exactly what it is that they're asking for, don't get them a variation of it. Don't be like, well, I'm going to get a blue sweater from somewhere else, or I'm going to get a sweater from that company, but it's not a blue sweater. You can offer a gift certificate to that place. It doesn't make it any less personal. So we had a family member one year, and Briar had said she wanted a Squishmallow, and they just, because it was cheaper, bought just like a regular pillow-shaped stuffed animal. And my daughter was super appreciative because we've taught her to be that way. But the person who gifted it to her, like, didn't realize, like, Squishmallows are, like, they're kind of, how do you, like, say it? Like, they're, like, name brand, they're their own thing. And these knockoff ones, they're not the same. They don't feel the same, because they're not just like, oh, it's a squishy, but, like, she lays on them as pillows and all these things. And I just felt bad because that family member tends to do that for a lot of people and I understand, like, if they can't afford the thing or they don't know where to get the thing or whatever, they're just going to go with what they think. And like I said, I'm super appreciative and my kid's super appreciative. But it didn't get the love it deserved, like, once we got home, because it was not exactly what she had asked for. I'm one of those people. So my kid is at that age now where, like, she gets invited to some birthday parties, but I hate more than anything. We got invited to a birthday party last year, and the mom's response to my question of what is your child into was, oh, whatever your kid's into, she'd like that. Really? Your kid's into ducks and noses? Really? Like, no. Just tell me. Unless it's somebody that I know really well, just tell me exactly what it is you're looking for. Please. Please, 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 please. I don't care if you think that makes it, like, less personalized. Listen, just tell me what you want. Just tell me what you want. And in that instant, I had to, like, push for, like, a little bit more information, because I was like, listen, I don't know. I don't know what your kid's into, and I don't want to buy something that your kid's not going to like. And then we found out they liked, was it an LOL doll or whatever? But then they gave me no direction of, like, do they have certain collections? Or it was fine. I got a gift receipt. But I am definitely one of those people, like, Briar had a birthday party. Unfortunately, we had to miss it because she got the flu. But, like, the mom gave me, like, very specific things that her kid was into. And I was like, thank you very much. Saying a kid's into video games is not the same thing as saying a kid is into Roblox. Saying a kid likes dolls is not the same thing as saying, hey, my daughter's really into Barbies. Or really into the Illy dolls. Or really into whatever. So, if I ever ask somebody, what do you want for a gift? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want or what does your kid want? Like, just be specific. One mom actually gave me her kids, the family has a, Amazon, like an Amazon wish list. And that was very helpful to me. And she's like, we use it for the grandparents, but you can have it if you want. I was like, heck yeah. And then I was like, and I don't have to worry about like picking it up. I can just order it and have it shipped directly to their house or to my house or whatever. So that was definitely much preferred for me. But that's a super tangent. I don't even know what got me to that point. But over the break, we both went to the chiropractor. She had a 1-day zoo camp, which was super cool. If you guys have been here for a while, you've heard me talk about how much my daughter loves the zoo camp program. It is the one thing a year that she looks forward to, and then begs for mommy to sign her up again. It is held at the zoo that's connected to Hershey Park. So they are open year round. So if you're somebody and you're like, oh, I want to get a Hershey Park pass, but I don't know if it's worth it, I'm not here to tell you if it's worth it or not, because I think it depends on like how much you're going to utilize it. But included in it, you do get to go to the zoo. So if you don't mind going to the zoo when it is not peak season, you can definitely get more of your money's worth out of it. But she loves this program, and they do it every once in a while, or over like spring break or winter break, they host like a 1-day program. And so we were really lucky. We were able to snag a spot, and it was she just loves it so much. I'm going to be so sad, like when she ages out of the program. But we've also talked about like she wants to work with animals when she grows up. She wants to be a vet. That there's also opportunities to work in like zoo settings like this as well. And she thinks that's super cool too. And most of the zookeepers that run the program are on the younger side. So I think that's pretty cool. But so yeah, we had a pretty chill break at home. But my biggest issue, okay, listen, you guys, if you don't have kids, you might not relate to what I'm saying, but you could probably understand where I'm coming from. So when you have a child that thrives on having a schedule, or a kid that's not expected to fully be able to regulate themselves in all situations yet, because they're still a kid and they're still learning about the world and life and all that stuff. When you have a school break, it can be both wonderful to have a break from the routine, but it can also be sheer chaos. For us, it was instant. She all of a sudden just lashing out and really struggling, and like her emotions were all over, everything was all over the place, and it was so exhausting for everyone involved. And this poor kid, you like shake up her routine, and then you say, oh, by the way, you don't go back to school for 2 weeks. And it was really hard. My saving grace through all of this was the fact that she still was consistent with her skating. She did not have group lessons. All the group lessons had ended for the year. And then, of course, they actually went back the other day, and my daughter still had a fever, so she could not go to that. So that was super fun, missing the first one of the new session, and then knowing she's going to be missing more coming up because of the competition. That's the same day of the week. Anyway, but holy moly. And then at school, she is much more inclined to listen to the nurse or the teachers say, hey, don't forget to drink your water. At home, it's like, I took a sip of water already. And I'm like, you took a sip of water 4 hours ago, child. It has just been, the emotions are so high in this house, and it is exhausting because, like, we went out to eat last night. I was going to make these pork chops, and then I realized we didn't have one of the 4 ingredients we needed for the dinner. And my husband's like, well, we could go out if you want. And I was like, I don't know if I really feel like it. We haven't been out collectively. Like, my husband's back at work and stuff like that. But I haven't been out since before the new year. I mean, I think Briar had skating between now and then, but she, like, I haven't been to a restaurant since before the new year. And we decided to go to this restaurant, and I talked to her about it before we went, because everything that I say is wrong. Everything is just a source of contention and anger and frustration and all these things. And I said, listen, I'm going to say this to you now before we go to the restaurant. I'm going to say it to you in a calm tone. I do not want you to order something that you are not going to eat. That being said, you need to eat, okay? Like, we're not going to go to the restaurant and then wait for mommy and daddy to finish eating, and then you still haven't eaten your food, because she likes to do that when she doesn't want to eat something, and then she can pick a fight, and it turn into this, but you're being so mean to me situation. Well, she was just being awful last night. And it has been, like I said, super rough, this whole break. And in general, like, when my kid doesn't feel well, she's not one of those kids that's like, let me just lie here and rest and relax. Like, she just has to fight about everything. She has to fight to keep her brain going. She has to fight to, like, stay awake. It's like, girl, just let it happen. So we got to the restaurant, and I read her the menu, and it was immediately, like, snapping at mommy. And I was like, listen, kiddo, mommy's being really patient with you, and I'm being really calm and really quiet, and I just need to know what you want to eat. And then it turned into, well, you know what I want, and like, don't talk to me like that. Don't use that tone with me. And then immediately it turned into, why is everybody always so mean to me? And I'm like, oh my God. So I expressed to her, I said, listen, the way you're talking to mommy and the way you're treating mommy is not fair. Mommy didn't do anything wrong. And like, I am at my wit's end here. Like, I've been home with this kid for like 2.5 weeks. And my husband had some days off during that, but in general, he was at work. And her behavior for me is typically worse than it is for anyone else, because I know I'm her safe space. But could I not be your safe space then? Because I don't want to be your emotional punching bag. I cannot keep doing it. And she just got so nasty with me. And I said to her, okay, well, mommy told you that the way you're treating me is really upsetting to me, and it's really hurting my feelings, and I'm going to just remove myself. So I went and sat in the car and waited for them to be done, because I was like, I'm not going to sit here and continue to let you, like, be a bully to me. And I if you're one of those people that goes, but just wait, don't even tell me. I know that teenage years are going to be harder than what they are now. And I hate parents that do that. I hate parents that do that, because what are we supposed to do? Freeze our kid in time? No. Stop scaring parents into the next phase of life. Oh, you think babies are bad? Wait until they're toddlers. Oh, you think that's bad? Wait until they are climbing everything. You think that's bad? Wait until they're this age and they mouth off about everything. Oh, wait until they're tweens and they can't control anything. Wait until they're teenage. I don't want to wait until. You're making it seem like parenthood is the worst and childhood is the worst. I just want to enjoy my child, but I also want to enjoy my child without her treating me like a verbal punching bag. And this whole break has just been, everything is setting her off. And it's like, I cannot wait. And I know this is going to sound awful to some people. I cannot wait for this kid to go back to school. Not that, like, I don't want to parent her. Not that I don't want to spend time with her. Because let me tell you, the second I drop her off at school, my heart goes, I miss her. I want to spend time with her. But I need this kid to be in some sort of routine. And this is why I know that me as a homeschool parent would not work at this age. Because she doesn't respect my authority as anybody other than, like, her parent. Like, if we try to do schoolwork stuff together, like, she doesn't want to do it. She wants to just do what her teachers tell her to do when her teachers tell her to do it. She wants to sometimes do what her coaches tell her to do when the coaches tell her to do it. But when I tell her to do it, she doesn't want to do it because that's not my job. My job is mommy. And it has just been very rough these last couple days in particular, but nothing worse than having a sick kid being completely irrational. And you know they're being irrational because they don't feel well, but you are also sick. So thankfully that by the time it hit Briar and I, my husband had already gone through most of his medicine and was doing significantly better. And he had gone back to work, and then he was scheduled off for a couple days, which worked out really well. But we didn't actually do anything for Christmas this year. Her behavior did not warrant, hey, let's go hang out with a bunch of people that are going to give you gifts and are going to excuse your behavior, because that's not what I was about. And it was, a long and hard discussion because obviously my husband, if it's his family that's going to be there, he doesn't want her to be missing out unless it's absolutely necessary. And I was like, listen, I know I don't have, it's not that they're not my family. I'm married into this family, so it is my family, but it's my family in a different sense than it is his family. And I said, ultimately, you're going to make the decision that you think is best for your family, as well as our family. But I just didn't think that Christmas at her aunt and uncle's was the place to be with the way she was behaving. And he was reluctant and agreed to it. And then she had this huge meltdown over something and was like, okay, well, I'm glad that we stuck to our guns on this because she just is not equipped. When you take her out of her routine, all of the sense of stability goes away, even though I offer her a stable household. You know what I mean? It's hard to watch your kid just seemingly fall apart, and then you can't do anything. And then by the time school's back in session, they've gotten used to being in the out of routine at home. So I know it's going to be like a huge adjustment going back to school and having to wake up early. Like this morning, I knew last night going into it that she had a 2-hour delay. And I said, just so you know, kiddo, mommy's still going to make you get up at the same time that you would, because she hasn't had to get up for school in a couple weeks now. But also, the way our schedule is, she has early morning ice on Tuesdays. So even if I let her sleep in, the day I'm filming this is Monday. If I let her sleep in on Monday, because she had the delay at school, she still has to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So it was going to do a disservice for everybody if I was like, well, I'll let you sleep in. But, obviously I didn't force her to go get dressed and get ready and all that stuff. I just made her get up and then do her, morning routine. My nose is running and I do apologize because I can hear myself sniffling, but I don't have any tissues up here. But it has been nice to just, be home, but it's also been really exhausting. I was hoping we could spend more time with the grandparents over break. We did see my mother-in-law one day. It did not go as planned, so that was fun. And then I was hoping we could see my parents. But my mom has been under the weather, and then we got sick, so it wasn't worth it to see each other. Not that I know they would have been very happy to see her, but I'm also not willing to risk getting them sick or having them get us sick. So we didn't get to do that. And the outdoor rink that I was planning on taking my daughter to, I did not realize they closed a couple days before Christmas. It was part of the outdoor Christmas villages, and So every one that I had looked into for this year had closed. And I was like, oh, we missed our window. Now, I think I knew this when I looked the first time because I think I remember going, oh, we'll have to probably go without Brian because he'll be at work. But I'm still hopeful. I found one like an hour and a half away that is open till March. So I have to find out like what's in the area of it to make it worth the journey of driving an hour and a half to let her skate outside. Because knowing my luck, it'll be one of those situations where we drive there and then she goes, I'm all done. And she was like out on the ice for like 5 minutes, you know, because it's cold out. But I am looking forward to her getting back into her routine. Like I said, group lessons for skating start back up this week. So we missed the one. There's another that's actually, yeah, we missed one. We'll be catching the other one this week, hopefully. So we've got that going for us. But I'm ready for her to just, it's weird to like not see myself as providing her this sense of normalcy because I do. But I know it's very common for kids too. Like she doesn't look at me as like the everything. I am just mommy. Like, what would you know about the X, Y, and Z? Well, I've lived a really long time, kiddo. I don't have to be an expert in reading to know how to read with my child. Thankfully, she found some old, like, workbooks, like preschool workbooks, and played with those a little bit. And also, we are not a, like, TV household. Not that there's anything wrong with that. In fact, there are some days that I wish we could just be a TV household. But she has a really hard time transitioning from that to anything else. So we really try to keep our TV watching to a minimum. However, when she was sick, I was like, this is the perfect time to catch up on The Masked Singer. So I know I'm super far behind, but we finally finished the season. Saw the winners. I was right on one of the characters. And then, of course, my friend Tyra was like, you know the new season starts next month. And I was like, of course it does. Listen, reality shows, give us enough time to miss you. Like, give me a break. I don't need a long break, but I need enough of a break where I'm like, you know what I haven't seen in a while? I can't wait to see X, Y, and Z again. Not, oh, the show just ended and a month later it starts back up. It's just, it's too much. It's too much. But, so that was nice today because it's a snow day. Snow days, sick days, things like that, we tend to do a little bit of TV and or movie. So this morning we watched, oh my God, what did we just watch? Oh, The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. And she loved it. So I would love to do some 90s movies with her. I think we're going to try to do The Mighty Ducks after, like, her nap time. And then I'll get dinner started. So there were a couple movies that I was like, oh, I wonder if, like, Richie Rich. But it wasn't on any of the streaming services I had. And I was like, I'm not paying, $4 for my kid to watch a movie when we are already paying for streaming services. So I saw My Girl was up and I was like, I don't know if My Girl is super appropriate yet. I know it's only rated PG, but I also remember seeing it as a kid and just like feeling like my life shattered in front of my eyes. And I don't know if she's equipped to handle that yet. But if you guys have some 90s, specifically 90s kids or family-friendly movies, let me know down below because we've already done Cool Runnings. We've done She's Seen Beethoven, The Little Rascals. Somebody suggested Rookie of the Year or Sandlot, and those are both great movies to watch with Brian because they're always on like the MLB Network. Trying to think of the other ones. that people recommended. But I would love to hear your input because I think there are so many options out there and I'm just not thinking of them. And also, for all of my Mary-Kate and Ashley lovers out there, part of me, I loved them. I grew up with them. I grew up watching them on Full House and then watching, excuse me, Two of a Kind. Like New York Minute is, I love that movie. But I don't know which one of their movies is a good one to go with. Like, I feel like some of the little ones of them, like, might be too little kiddish for Briar. I could be wrong. But I would like to watch one of those with her as well. So I'll just take all your 90s and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen suggestions down below. What else do we do? She wanted ramen over the break, so we got ramen. We basically did everything before Christmas, and then post-Christmas, it was just like kind of in our house, not really going anywhere or doing anything outside of skating, just because, although I will say, so something that I just learned, frustratingly enough, is that the morning ice time that's listed, they don't open it unless one of the pros has a lesson, because the pros are the ones that need to open the rink. Okay, that makes sense. But don't advertise that you're open at 6 if it's 6:30 and it's still dark and there's no one here. So the one day I had to actually text her coach and I said, I am so sorry to bother you. It was like 6:30 in the morning. I was like, do we still have a lesson? And she was like, yeah. Well, she forgot, not that we had a lesson, she forgot that Briar has been doing, so she does 15 minutes of like free skate on her own, a 30-minute lesson, and then 15 minutes of free skate on her own afterwards. This way, doing a full half hour before a lesson sometimes means that she gets bored or she like doesn't have the energy to get through the lesson, and doing a half hour afterwards is a total gamble because sometimes she just wants to skate for a few more minutes and then be done. But I don't get my money back if she doesn't skate, you know what I mean? So, she was like, yeah, I'll be there shortly. I was like, okay. And that's when she explained to me, like, it's open, but it's only open if there's lessons. And I was like, well, I wish that was explained a little bit better. Like, we've been skating for 3.5 years, and I had no idea, because that was the second time in the last like month that we had showed up for an early morning ice time and had to wait for someone else to get there and unlock and open the door and do all of that. And I was like, I don't like, what am I doing wrong here? Turns out the answer is nothing. I was doing nothing wrong, but I have so many colors out on my desk right now. I gotta just start putting things away. But yeah, we got her ramen. She really wanted ramen. And one of the mornings after she went skating, we actually did Waffle House, which is like down the street. So she could get breakfast after the rink. And she was really excited by that. But in general, we've just been pretty like chill and low key at home. I've been cooking what feels like a lot, but I guess not really a lot. I am in such a food rut. I don't know if it's just because it's like, oh, you know, it's the end of the year, or just like nothing that I make sounds good. But then I don't want to try like all new recipes all the time, because like I made a ramen at home the other night and it was from a reel and it looked delicious. It just wasn't great. And we also, if you are somebody who cooks tofu, please tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I want to love tofu, even though I will never, because I can't get over the texture. But they did a tofu crumble that was like seared in a hot pan, so it looked like ground meat. It never happened for us. It just stayed mushy and like barely got any color, and then once it started to, it was like burning, but it was still not toasted. I was like, what am I doing wrong? My husband and I even took it and put it in the oven. It still didn't really work. So if you have any tofu suggestions on how I can improve that, let me know, because that wasn't it. What else? But yeah, if you guys have any good, easy food recommendations, no chicken. No chicken, okay? Doesn't have to be vegetarian, no chicken. I don't like chicken. I could go the rest of my life never eating chicken and I wouldn't be sad. But I feel like I'm in such a food rut and like nothing sounds exciting. And I was hoping, like, I am definitely not one of those people that's like, new year, new me. No, it's new year, same me. And I feel like, unfortunately, it doesn't feel like last year ended and a new year started. It just feels like it's just still going. Like it's never ending. So, but this is a good place to end. I apologize again for the lack of Alice in a Winter Wonderland content. I will be getting more stuff out there. I have a video that I have not yet filmed, but I would like to, inspired by videos from Diamond Paintings by Laura and Lisette. And then I have another sneak peek first look from Diamond Artisan this week. Nothing to do with Alice, but I got them the same time. And I think that's it. If you guys made it all the way to the end, leave me some sort of food emoji. And that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this or nothing like this at all, please make sure to give this video 2 thumbs up. 1 real life, 1 virtual. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Come. Join the Sparkle Squad, and while you're there, hit that notification bell. I do not operate on any sort of schedule. I operate on toddler standard time, and I record when my tiny human is sleeping, or like today, sleeping. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you in my next one. Happy New Year!